Welcome back. Well, we do have photographic proof that after decades on the brink, wildlife experts are confirming wolves have returned to the northern Cascade Range and Mount Hood. And what does that mean for maybe the next time you go out snowshoeing, hiking, camping? Derek Broman with the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife joins us now. We've been talking about a lot this week and we've had reports on it. So Derek, we really wanted to bring somebody in and get kind of face to face and say, is this dangerous or is it good news?
Well, when it comes to all wildlife, it's important for the public to respect those animals, whether it's a chipmunk or a black bear.
No selfies.
People still do that.
I know it.
So when it comes to wolves, it's just like anything else. You have a low chance of encountering that animal, and it's an even lower chance of you having a negative interaction with that critter. So if you do see a wolf in the wild, if you do feel comfortable, just take the moment to enjoy it. Otherwise, if you are concerned about your safety, do what you do in most situations. Make a lot of noise, don't run off. Make sure that your pets and children are close to you so that you can keep them under control. And oftentimes that animal is just going to wander off and want nothing to do with you.
I think your instinct would be to run, and does that scare the animal and then maybe cause a problem?
It actually can cause a problem. That may actually incite their natural instinct to chase. Just like a dog that you don't feel comfortable with, you're not supposed to run from because it may feel the instinct to chase you.
What do you think the change is now that we've seen the wolves, seen these photos? I mean, is it just that no one was out really taking photos before? What's the change of spotting them here?
Well, it's very difficult to keep track of wolves, to try to detect them. They're very secretive. These wolves were observed in the National Forest, so you don't get a lot of activity there. So we don't know how long they may have been there, but we now have detections. And so it's at least a clue to help us focus in our next efforts on where to go looking for them. But they can pop up anywhere.
Yeah, I was worried when we start seeing wild animals that means they're losing their habitat. Is that the case here, or are they just being reintroduced into their habitat?
You know, that's a good question. Sometimes it is indeed the case of habitat loss for wildlife, but when it comes to wolves, they're habitat generalists. They do well in deserts, they do well in forests, they do well in mountains.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they're going to do quite well in many places of Oregon, and they're actually teaching us quite a bit thus far.
You mentioned next steps, so what is next with this situation?
So for this situation, we've got additional cameras up. We can start to hone in and try to figure out, are indeed these wolves resident? How many that might there be? And then also, if we declare an area of known wolf activity, informing the locals in that area, especially livestock producers, on what they can do to be proactive to reduce the chance of conflict.
Is the thinking, I remember years ago somebody said if you see one ant, there's probably dozens more. With the wolves, can that even be possible, that there is a significant population?
It is indeed possible. This time we just have a photograph of 2 wolves. A lot of times we will have lone dispersers, lone wolf, you hear that term. Wolves can disperse from northeastern Oregon down to California.
They cover a big territory?
Yeah, so it could just be one that you're encountering.
Passing through?
Yep,
okay.
If people do safely get some photos, would you like to have them?
Yeah, certainly. That's really, really helpful. There's only so many ODFW biologists on the landscape, so if we can have the public lend their eyes and ears to assist us, that's great.
I hope I see one.
From far enough away.
You know, I love a guy who loves his job.
I know.
Such enthusiasm. I mean, thanks for coming by and sharing it.
Derek,
Yeah,
thank
love
you.
learning about it.